Hello there. Welcome to the Justin Show. I'm Justin Trudell. I'm your host. You probably know me from the Kirk Minahan Show. I left about a little more than a month ago, and I've been reluctant trying to get something started until one day I got a kick in the ass on Twitter from Craig Very Good Show, of all people, who said, we got to get this going. Justin needs a co-host, and I was reached out by none other than Matt from Rhode Island, who reached out to me, said, hey, let's do this. I got a studio. I do the Relaughable podcast. That's not the name of it. The fucking, what's it called, Matt?
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing? Yes, the famous Why Are You Laughing?
Patreon.com/blindmike.
That's right. And he reached out to me. I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen is, my mental health just spirals in control after being.
I think this is it. I think this is the worst.
You think this is the worst thing that can happen? Yeah. But so he reached out. I said, yeah, let's do it. And here we are, a little more than a week later. And I'm with, I guess, my producer / co-host, Matt. Matt, you want to introduce yourself to the fellas?
Like I said, producer / helper with Blind Mike's Patreon and Why Are You Laughing? I do my own podcast, Average Nobodies. That's about it. I'm here to serve you, Justin. With this. I am Craig hit me up because I guess you're the person you were supposed to be co-hosting with. Yep,
Mark. He I don't want to say he pussied out, but you're familiar with the Kirk Minahan Show in the universe, correct?
Yeah, very. Yep.
Mark. The only connection he had to the Kirk Minahan universe was me.
Yeah.
So he would dip his toes in whenever there would be something me involved with it. So, but he wasn't a Kirk fan beforehand. He doesn't really know who Blind Mike is. So anyway. A couple weeks ago, they're talking, but this is before Kirk went on his mental health break. This is probably what sent him on his mental health break, was he needed, they called me up and they said, hey, Justin, rumor has it you're starting your own podcast soon, because I got some equipment from one David Cullinane, and he said, yep, everything's going great. And I said, yeah, we just got to get Mark together and we're going to do it. I texted Mark that day. I said, hey, we got to do something. We got to hop on this hype train. We're being talked about on a Barstool podcast. There's thousands and thousands of people who listen to it. We got to try to start this as soon as possible. We go. Something was a little off. We record something. I'll probably release it in like 2 years. I don't know. It was very.
You have it though.
I do have it. And I just could tell just something was off. And we go out to eat afterwards. He doesn't say anything. And then he texts me afterwards. He's like, I think you should wait until you're not a topic on KMS to start this podcast.
Right.
And I go, well, there's a couple problems there. One, I don't know if I'm ever not going to, like, if I do something stupid, smart, if I start my own podcast, Kirk was going to talk about it on KMS. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Secondly, why the fuck would I not want to be talked about on KMS?
It's very true as well.
It's like, why would I not want the promotion?
Yeah, right.
And believe his exact response was like, well, I just think it should just be like you and me just kind of hanging out, and I think we could start our own thing. I go, no, no, we can't. If this was 3 years ago and we started up our own podcast, like my dad would listen to it and his dad would listen to it, and then they would just be like, that would be it. No one else.
Yeah.
So me and Mark we decided to part ways. I haven't spoke to him in like, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, me and Mark are still good pals and everything like that. But I just don't think the podcasting world is in his future. So here I am with Matt from Rhode Island. I don't even know your last name.
It's Vieira.
Vieira.
Yeah, Portuguese.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I think it's interesting what you were saying about how, like, you go from like you do a podcast before KMS and it would be your dad and whatever
exactly
listening to it, but then having some the podcast I do, we get just our friends, my immediate friends listening to it, like a few people, and I'm
assuming you had more listeners from doing things with Blind Mike,
sure,
and things of that nature.
Maybe Craig, maybe Blind Mike. I don't even know for sure. But to jump from basically none to having thousands, I could see where Mark is coming from. Where he doesn't.
I can too.
Yeah,
he's I don't want to say he's a private guy, but he just doesn't want he doesn't have a Twitter account. He doesn't. Yeah. There's not much.
Maybe he's better for that, but anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's definitely saner than me. So there's probably something to that. But I'm sure Mark will be brought up in the future.
We literally have never laid eyes on each other.
Correct.
Except for so we're recording. It's about 6 minutes in. Well, less than that, but But right before that, you walked in and we sat down, and that's
Correct.
it.
Yeah, I walked in. I was like, hey, how's it going? And you're like, hey, let's get started. And here we are.
Good
And
sign. We have the same sneakers.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a sneakerhead. You're a sneakerhead. It's good to know. I do like this studio though. It's got a very like the Kink Dungeon setting.
Thank you. It's nice to have someone in here that can see it.
Yeah. You know what I mean by the Kink Dungeon? Like walking through this.
Well, I don't know. Like, maybe we talking like 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, there's there's a website called Kink, and it looks very similar to this.
Oh no, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh yeah, it's some hardcore shit.
Oh wait, you mean the outside of the building?
Yeah.
Oh
you
yeah,
ever seen that?
Yes. It's the San Francisco Armory.
Yes. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yep.
Yes, I am familiar.
No, but it's no. You got a nice little setup going in here. I like it. It sounds great.
Thank you. I got Mike's one of a kind piece of art right there.
Is that the original?
That's the original. I was telling So I won that on eBay. For
oh my goodness!
Way too
I was
much
gonna
money.
say.
And
that's probably gone up in value quite a bit though.
Yeah, I mean, value is only what someone will pay for it. So I don't know if anybody would pay for it. Make your offers.
I don't know. I mean, you got like NFTs and pictures of like monkeys in a space.
Should I NFT that? Is that what we should do?
You should NFT. You should do something with that.
I wish I knew how to do that.
I mean, that can pay your mortgage for a couple months. I think.
The funny story about that is, I mean, obviously the funny story is that I paid hundreds of dollars for it.
We're talking about the
sad story.
the blind Mike. If you're listening,
thank you.
The blind Mike picture he drew maybe in the first week of the Kirk Minahan show.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is going to be a little heavy on the Kirk Minahan, the first episode, but I promise we're going to get into.
Well, it's how we know each other.
Yeah, of course. But no, I mean, I think that's definitely. How much did you pay for it?
It was like $350.
Oh, that is. Oh, you got to steal. You got to fucking steal.
See, I don't agree with you. But so the funny story about this is that I get it, and I paid $350 for it. I think that's what it was. And I expected it to come in like this flat envelope. It's like a cardboard thing, like to keep it like pristine. So there's no. It comes in like a business envelope with like the window for like checks, like like the window for like the address.
So Steve spent like 50 cents.
You can see the folds like folded in like a fucking 100 places. I thought that was hilarious.
I kind of like that though. I know. I think that adds to the value of it. I think it's kind of like when Banksy. Like whenever one of his paintings is sold and then it like shreds itself and then it goes up in value like 10,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of think I like that though. No, that's definitely gone up way in value. There's someone who will pay.
I got myself a blind Mike C.
Yeah, definitely someone who will pay at least 4 figures for that.
So anyway, the long way to China here is we don't know each other.
Correct.
I want to ask you a few questions.
Of course. Yeah. Let's get to know. I mean, this is kind of the first time I'm hosting my own thing. I've always been kind of either like on KMS I wasn't even a voice. I was like the 5th voice behind the fans. I would just chime in every once in a while and go, actually this is why that happened. But hit me up.
All right, let the people get to know you too. What is your favorite color?
My favorite color? I like dark red.
Dark red.
I think it's very like.
You're thinking like more
soothing. No, maroon? I mean like dark, like lighter than maroon.
Like blood red?
Yeah, kind of like blood red.
Okay.
I kind of like this is kind of stupid, but I kind of like the not the evilness of it, but like the darkness of a red.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like. What's your favorite color, Matt from Rhode Island?
Oh, I mean, orange. I don't think it matters though. I don't think anybody cares what my favorite color is.
I don't think anyone cares about what my favorite color is either.
You'd be surprised.
You think someone's gonna?
I mean, they're gonna. No, I think maybe they don't care that it's your favorite color, but I think it's very telling that it is blood dark red, and that you prefer the evil of it.
Yeah, I've been in some dark places before in my life.
I think that's interesting. We'll get down that road maybe in future episodes. Describe your dream holiday. If money.
Oh, my dream holiday. So this is actually one of the things I wanted to talk about today. I don't know if you saw my Twitter post about why I think Thanksgiving is the best holiday. So my ideal holiday is just sitting on the couch, eating, and then just like falling asleep.
That's pretty good. That's my experience of Thanksgiving and Christmas in my house.
Yeah, so it's a little bit less for Christmas, Christmas-wise for me, but I just love the idea. I like to people watch. I just like to watch people in my family just like run around and like do shit while I'm just doing nothing. I find that like soothing. I find it relaxing.
Okay.
Every Thanksgiving, what I do is I go over to my parents' house. I sit in front of the TV. I turn on Star Wars Episode 3 until my dad somehow thinks I'm like trying to start a fight with him by putting on Star Wars Episode 3 instead of like putting on the Macy's Day Parade. I'm like, no, I want to watch this movie because it's relaxing and I enjoy it. And then I'll just like sit in front of the TV and I just won't move. And I feel like that's the most like American thing. It's just to do nothing on that day. And so,
So you're like a big do nothing on holiday,
you should
or
do
like vacation holiday. So you're a big
Correct.
staycation person. Like if you had the option to like go somewhere or just stay home for a week.
my ideal vacation would be to go somewhere and then do nothing.
Yeah, I
Like
get
just
that.
go like to I want to go to Seattle, or not Seattle. Seattle's a shithole, but like LA, and then just like get a nice hotel, and then just like wake up at like 3 p.m. every day and just like
Yeah,
do nothing.
that
Just,
sounds great.
or like spend a day, like then go out and do shit. But like you at least need a day or two where you're just not doing anything, where you're not rushing around, being relaxed. But I fucking love Thanksgiving.
Well, I can remember going on vacations as a kid with my family,
Mhm.
and a lot of the times those vacations not actually being a vacation from anything. It's just like rushing around and doing things and being up at certain times.
It's the worst. And then you're like, we have to go here at this time.
Right.
You're like, well, what if I don't want to? What
There's
if
a
I
lot
just
of
want to
pressure.
sleep all day? It's
Right.
like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't say I'm a big staycation guy. Because I mean, if I'm just doing a staycation, I'll just like sit on my couch and
But
play Xbox.
you like to go at your own pace if you go somewhere.
Yeah, no, I would love. I've never
Yeah.
been on a vacation like quote unquote by myself, but that sounds incredible. Just like
Excellent.
go to a city in the middle of nowhere, just be like, yep,
Yeah.
here by myself.
What's a secret talent you have that no one
Secret
else knows?
talent I
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. I don't know if I have any secret talents. I guess I'm really into like. I know a lot about the Patriots from the 2000s and up. Like I can tell you about like certain games, how every single season ended. Well,
Okay.
bring up like random plays. I really would call that a secret talent though.
Yeah, that's a secret talent. We'll go with that.
I mean, Mike's got his like, he can spell things backwards or
Yeah.
something like that.
Like you're not like a closet violinist or anything like that.
No, I can do nothing with music. I like to sing, but I'm terrible at it.
I mean, I think you have to sing us something right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll sing something eventually.
Okay.
But
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Of course. No, I already have some ideas for things I want to do. I'm really good at Nazi zombies.
All right. Now we're talking.
I'm
man.
really good at Call of Duty.
Which Nazi zombies are we talking about here?
Okay.
Are we talking about Kino? Are we talking Ascension? Are we talking about 5?
Okay, well, 5 sucks. But Kino, Ascension, yeah, I mean anything Black Ops 2 and early. I mean, I was great.
I guess where was that? When did that come out? Like where were you in life?
I was
How old
in
were you?
I was in middle school, I think.
Okay.
And and I just remember just going over like it was kind of like the thing. I don't know, how old are you?
I was in college at the time, so
Okay.
I'm 32 now.
Okay, so I'm 25. So like I was kind of like late middle school, early high school. It was kind of the time when like parties were just kind of like you would go and hang out with other boys and just play video games.
Yeah.
Like it was before kind of like girls and before like booze got involved or
Oh,
anyone
brother,
started.
that was me at all times.
Oh no, I went to a super small high school. And
the
it
girls
was,
never came.
no, yeah. But it was but no, like every weekend we would go over someone's house and just play fucking Nazi zombies and Call of Duty until our dicks fell off.
Zombies, that game mode, and Black Ops and Black Ops 2 specifically ran through my friend group when we were in college,
Yep.
like the plague, and we did nothing but do that. Like if we were going out on the weekends, we would go earlier, play Nazi zombies,
Yep.
and then go out, and that was a huge thing, and like that was great. But yeah, you're really good at it.
Oh, I was
Are you
excellent. At it.
your preferred way to play solo?
Correct. Because I mean, I feel like either if I'm not playing with people I don't know, then I'll just play solo. Because
Yeah.
playing with people I don't know, I just
It's tough because you have. I feel like with my experience of playing, you have a certain way you play.
Yep.
And everybody does it differently, and there's probably a few ways to play it, but you want to play it the way you play. And if someone opens the wrong door,
Correct. Yeah.
right.
Correct. For those of you who don't know who we're talking about, we're talking about a Call of Duty game from is it 10 years ago now?
Well, yeah, 10 years ago, but it's still a game mode.
Fuck, I know it's crazy. It's just I'm just trying to think like geez.
It was right. It came out right in the middle of the zombie craze.
Yes.
So like The Walking
Yes.
Dead, every zombie movie.
Did you know
there
that
was-
show is still on?
Oh yeah.
It's wild. I
I
remember
still
that show
watch.
being on
Yeah.
when like Breaking Bad was on. It was like Breaking Bad or Walking Dead was kind of like the big like people like in my house like either one.
Yeah, it was.
it's
been on for over a decade.
I was a Breaking Bad guy, and I'm so surprised that The Walking Dead is like still on.
Yeah,
Do they still have like all the same characters, or is it like sort of like they changed it up? Like there's like an entirely new cast.
Well, not to tangent too much, but they have it largely like they've kind of shifted like there are a few from the beginning,
Okay.
but what they've done over the years is like introduce new characters and keep them for a while,
Yep.
and then eventually either get rid of them or keep them or whatever. But so not many from the original show, but they do a good job of keeping characters. Like they don't like immediately like just kill off new characters and kill them off.
Okay.
They keep them around for a while, which and they do a good job of kind of analyzing which characters the fans like and keep those people around. So anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, so I guess secret talent. Yeah, I guess it would be playing old video games would be my my secret talent that's not so secret.
Dope.
I'm trying to think. I mean,
what are the kind of video games you into?
I'm mostly into like solo single player stuff. I love campaigns. I think video games are one of the best ways to like tell a story.
As a Star Wars fan, I assume you played Jedi Fallen Order.
Of course, very great, incredible game.
Great game.
The thing I love, like I like weird things about that game. I love how there's like no DLC to it. How it's like you just got a story and like that was it.
That's it.
It was like, okay, I know it's made by EA and EA's like known for like being like, oh, you want this little extra thing? It's an extra $25. Nope, you buy the game. It doesn't matter what version you have. It's all the same game. It was an excellent game. I'm excited for the sequel. I think Star Wars is in a good place right now. I think it's recovered from I'll say it, the rape that Kathleen Kennedy put on with the sequel trilogy, and it's slowly making its way up there.
So I found it interesting that the first thing you put on when you're at Thanksgiving is Episode 3.
Yep.
So you're a big prequels fan?
Love the prequels.
Okay.
Love the prequels. The prequels are like and I'm very much biased. I know that the prequels are not as good as the original trilogy.
True.
But you got to understand, I didn't see episode 1 in theaters. I saw episodes 2 and 3 in theaters. I was around for like all the promotion of it, the toys and everything like that. So that kind of like really, it's like my childhood. And I mean, I think everyone can agree episode 3 is a fantastic movie. People have their thoughts on episodes 1 and 2. I mean, I respect it, but yeah, it's my go-to movie whenever I just want to throw something on.
It's great. So you're excited for Kenobi.
Oh, I'm so fucking excited for Kenobi. Oh my
yeah.
God. Oh, to see Ewan back and Hayden's coming back too. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's going to be sweet. I'm very excited. I'm a big fan of Star Wars.
And then Ahsoka. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the TV shows or anything.
Yeah, so I've watched a little bit of Clone Wars. I haven't watched any of Rebels. But I
Rebels
do,
is
I do
great.
plan on it.
Rebels is great. Everyone shat on Rebels while it was out. They thought it was kind of like a pussy version of Clone Wars. I think the later seasons get really good. Get very, very good. I highly recommend everyone watch that. But
are you watching the Bad Batch?
I am.
Okay, you
I
like
am.
that?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's like the Clone Wars continued.
And so, what do you think about Star Wars Visions? Are you watching that?
I don't know. It's like
for anybody that's wondering, Star Wars Visions is on Disney Plus.
Correct.
Show. They're kind of like one-off. Different style, mostly animated. I guess they are. I haven't watched all of them, but they're mostly animated. It's like little one-off, like little Star Wars stories.
Little one-off stories that don't really connect to anything, but they're kind of out there. I mean, it's fine. It's not like you don't really get much information out of them. They're cute to watch. I don't think it's ever like I want to go binge watch all the Star Wars Visions or anything like that.
Yeah,
but. No, it's. I think we're in a good place. I was actually going through the list of upcoming Star Wars projects earlier today, and there's a lot I'm excited for. The Ahsoka show, great. Kenobi, obviously. I mean, to bring back, that's pretty much like Episode 3, Part 2, right there. Andor, which is going to be a prequel to Rogue One about the I don't know.
Andor Cassian.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. To be all about that. So I'm excited about that. There is one, I don't know, there's talks of a Lando show.
Yeah, is that the one with, I guess they would go with Donald Glover?
No, so it's up in the air on whether or not they would recast him entirely.
Really?
Which is surprising to me. Not much is known about it, except the head writer is, I haven't seen the movie, so there's a movie and there's a TV show of Dear White People. Have you heard of the TV show?
No,
on
not
Netflix?
Familiar.
Okay,
no.
well, it's a Netflix show where one of the writers was one of the people who like attacked that guy at the Dave Chappelle walkout a couple weekends ago.
Yeah.
So the writer of that movie is apparently in charge of writing the Lando TV show. So I'm not entirely sure how. I haven't seen the movie. If it's anything like the TV show, it's fucking god awful. It's pretty much like white people are just the worst thing in the world.
The devils. I'm interested to see fan reactions to not casting Donald Glover, because from what I gathered, and maybe I'm wrong,
He was like the one good part of that movie.
Right. That
Yeah.
was he was kind of like one of the bright spots in that movie. I do semi like that movie. It's not awful. It's not great. But I do like Donald Glover, and I think Donald Glover enjoyed playing that role.
I do too.
So, and I remember reading that. So it would be interesting to see if they would just recast him.
It's up in the air on whether or not they would recast him or not. So I think it comes down to like a contract dispute pretty much. And there's a couple other TV shows that are there's like not Knights of the New Republic. It's Rangers of the New Republic. That was supposed to be Gina Carano's show.
Oh, right.
But who knows? Like, because I'm hearing rumors that she's coming back to The Mandalorian every other week.
Well, she's making movies now with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I'm
right?
sure that's going to be great.
Should
Ben
be.
Shapiro
Should be
directing. I just like to see him in like that big like movie chair. You know how like sometimes they have directors that like will swivel around, like just to see him kind of like in like, oh yes, I think that would be very funny. Yeah, so I'm sure that's going to be I don't even know what kind of movie that is, but that I think that project might be put on hold as of now. The Rangers of the New Republic. But yeah, no, there's a lot of hope for the Star Wars universe right now.
Very good, very good. I was hoping we'd touch on that, so I'm glad we got.
A couple of years ago, yeah. I mean, I'm going
there.
to talk about Star Wars more than people would like. So
I'm
people
with
are like,
you.
oh yeah, of course Justin's going to talk. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Star Wars way more than people would expect.
Do you have any fun hobbies?
Fun hobbies
Besides kink.com?
Yeah, no, I don't use kink.com. I just think I swear to God, if you're walking through this place, it looks like it. Now, I was just laughing like on my way up here. I was like, I think I saw a concert here, and it was like 5 years ago. It was in the middle of a snowstorm. It was a blast. But I'm walking through. I was like, this does look like the San Francisco Armory. Looks like I'm gonna walk through and be like, oh yeah, that's where the girl's getting tied up.
I was gonna say, you start getting nervous because you've never like met
yeah,
before, or Twitter DM.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just like, okay, here's where we strap you up and electrocute your nuts.
All right, Justin, have a seat.
But no, my hobbies. I like to collect things.
Oh, wow. We get a lot in common, Justin.
I collect
Match
like,
made in heaven right here.
football cards. I love. I'd say football is probably my biggest hobby that people really don't know. I mean, my biggest hobby is the Kirk Minahan show and just following that world and
Sure.
trying to help out in whatever way I can and things of that nature. But I guess it was just kind of I just like to collect things. I like
Football cards.
football cards, Pokemon cards.
Nice.
Uh,
That's a resurgence right now.
mm-hmm. It's actually dipped a little bit. It was really big.
Oh,
like
yeah.
6 months ago, where it was like you can actually go to Target right
And
now
get them.
and
Oh, yeah.
buy Pokemon, which is like crazy to say that like that's a thing. But I went to go buy some a couple months ago, I want to say, and I went to go buy like 2, and they were like, "Oh, you can only buy 1." And I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
What do you mean? And they were like, "Oh." And then I looked up that Walmart stopped selling them in stores. Do you know why?
For a while, they took them off shelves because
People were like killing
Yeah.
each other over
Yeah,
them.
right.
They were
Right.
either stealing them or they would like kill each other over them.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
were- it's
Jesus
nuts.
fucking Christ.
nuts. Well, that was a big like people were collecting unemployment during like that was when it was the hottest when COVID was at its peak.
They had nothing else to do, and they were getting money from the government left and right. So they were like, "Wow, what should I
Selling
buy?"
Pokemon cards on the side. I mean, that's crazy. It was such a hot thing for such a long time, and then now it's it's come down a little bit, but still kind of crazy.
But yeah, no, it's I like to build Legos.
Pokemon cards,
Love to build
sweet.
Legos.
So you got a lot of good Star Wars options.
Oh yeah, we
with
got
that.
plenty of Star Wars. Legos are so fucking expensive.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any
it's
kids?
nuts. I don't have any kids.
Do you have any
no.
man-children friends who would like to still build Lego Star Wars like myself?
I am a man child.
Okay.
And I do build Legos. Not often, but every so often. My
Yep.
brother is we actually, you know what Bricklink is?
I do.
We have our own Bricklink store, and we part out Legos.
Oh,
and sell
nice.
them on the Bricklink store. Yeah.
Nice.
As kind of like a side thing that we've done over the last year. But he likes Legos. He doesn't really build them as much. He kind of just like buys them when they go on sale and
Okay.
flips them. I just built New Asgard.
Okay.
A little like
Oh, nice,
yeah,
nice.
little, tiny little corner shelf piece.
It's such like it's so like relaxing.
It's very
to
relaxing.
build it.
That's kind of like where I'm at. Like I'll put on Breaking Bad or I'll put on The Sopranos or whatever.
I love it.
Right. It's great. It's very therapeutic.
I binge watch. I have like this stupid big bin of Legos at my house because they never go bad. You can just break
from
them
when you're a
apart.
kid.
And I was sorting them years ago, and what I did was I watched the entirety of Game of Thrones while I was just, it's like so like, it's such like a good side thing to be doing. But the only thing is they're so fucking expensive.
Yeah, very expensive.
They're like, and they're not going to lose their value like ever.
Yeah, he, my brother, he, a few years ago, they had like one of the limited releases of the Quickie Mart from The Simpsons,
Yep.
and then the like Homer's home, the house, and they were only on for sale for a little while. He got them both, and they've like, I mean, they go up crazy. It's nuts,
Especially if you like keep them in the box.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't even open it. Well, that's the thing with him. He's a big collector as well, and he likes to keep stuff mint.
I like shoes. I mean, we kind of mentioned that. I do own.
So that is you got the PG NASA's.
Yep, I'm a big fan. I know he's a douchebag, but I think Kyrie Irving makes incredible shoes.
Kyrie Irving's I have the Kyrie Irving Friends.
Okay.
Sneakers. Have you seen those?
I have.
The colorways. Yep.
I have like all the SpongeBob sneakers. I have SpongeBob.
Dude. PG. Paul George has a SpongeBob one. No. Or no?
No, you're thinking of Kyrie.
Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Kyrie has he has SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Sandy, Mr. Krabs. I have them all.
Dude. That's wild.
Yeah, those were the shoes I wore the first time to the studio when Kirk was like, "What the fuck is he wearing?" They're like these bright yellow things.
Is that why you were sneakers?
Correct.
Oh fuck! I thought the other intern was sneakers.
No, he was hair. Will was hair.
Oh fuck! All right, I get it now.
Said I wore my bright yellow SpongeBob sneakers to try to be like they're great conversation. I would when I went to college, I would wear them around campus. People were like, oh my god, SpongeBob. Girls would be like, oh my god, SpongeBob. Like, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Meanwhile, I'm paying like $200 like basketball sneakers, and I do not play basketball.
So do you like wait out at Foot Locker, or do you just get them on the app?
I'm a StockX guy.
That's where I get all mine.
I mean, it's such a convenient way just to buy. It's like, because I'm such a weird shoe size. I'm size 14. Okay. Where it's like, so I would have trouble like even when I was in like high school, like buying shoes. Like I would go to like, I don't know, like Bob's to get like new shoes for like school, and they would be like, well, we have 2 pairs of your size, and that's it.
Oh, right.
So
no
like
options.
I didn't really have any options. So like the internet is godsend.
I think also, like, if I'm not mistaken, 14, like when you look at StockX and all the sizes, 14 is not. It's not an expensive price, is it? Does it come down from, because 13 I know it goes high, because that's what I wear.
It depends. So like it's not the most popular size.
Right.
So it's not like, so I definitely catch some breaks on them.
Yeah.
But also like sometimes there will be 5 of a pair in a 10.5. And then there will only be 1, or like there'll be like 15 in a 10.5. So, it's kind of the free market kind of dictates what it's being sold as.
Sure.
And then there'll be like one guy will be like, yeah, I'll take nothing less than $300 for this. And it's kind of like, well, fuck, he's fucking got me.
Yeah, StockX, holy fuck, is great for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Getting the cool sneakers.
Yeah, so I guess that's probably my biggest hobby.
It's a lot of hobbies. You buried the lead.
I guess. I mean, I like to sleep. Not as much as people like tend to think. I know they were talking on the KMS show without Kirk.
Yeah, sleep or whatever.
Yeah, that was like a throwaway line where Kirk had my balls in my throat, and he was like, "When did you go to sleep?" And I was like, "I don't know, just say a time." I was like, I don't know. I went to sleep at like 1. And he's like, "What time did you wake up?" I was like, 3 today. And he's like, well, "You slept for like 17 hours?" And I was like, and I mean, there's no walking it back. I can't be like, no. So, but I don't sleep as much as people like to say. Weird. So I have a couch in my room. It's the couch like I read the Julie DeCaro book on and everything like that.
Okay, all right.
I haven't slept in my bed in like 3 months.
I have a friend who's like that.
I don't know why, but like
guy.
I've been only sleeping, and like it's like I have a nice bed and everything, but like I don't know why, but I've just been like, oh, looks like I'm sleeping on the couch, and I fall asleep so much.
So your
easier.
bed is just like right there, but
correct.
You
My bed is literally legitimately right next to the couch, and I'm just like, nope, looks like I'm sleeping on the couch.
You're more comfortable on the couch, man.
It's so strange. I guess I'm just getting used to like getting ready for when I'm homeless, when my grandfather kicks me out, when he's like, yeah, we got to sell this house and you got to go get a place to rent. And I'll be like, no.
Just point me in the direction of a couch. And
exactly.
Yeah. If you could be one kitchen appliance, what would it be and why?
Could be one kitchen appliance.
Yeah. This is turning into kind of like a job interview now. I feel like these are like job interview questions.
The weirdest, speaking of job interview questions, I was once asked, so I worked at Best Buy for a couple of years.
Blue shirt.
No, yellow shirt.
Yellow shirt. Oh, blue shirt is Walmart?
No, blue shirt is Best Buy. I was a yellow shirt. I was the asset protection person in front of the store. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the one who was catching little kids stealing left and right. And I don't know if I ever told this story. People know this story, but I got fired from Best Buy.
All right.
For stopping someone from stealing laptops, and I wasn't even working that day. The video is actually online. It is, if you look up Mansfield 2017 Best Buy theft, there's like a video of me and my friend Brendan trying to stop these guys from stealing laptops.
All right, so hold on. You go to Best Buy that day. So
it was the day after Christmas. Okay. My friend Brendan, he was the full-time guy. I was the part-time guy. I was working full-time hours. And he was covering my shift for me. So I thought, it's the day after Christmas. I'm going to swing by, say hi to my friend, drop him off a tea. He liked to drink tea from Dunkin' Donuts. So I drop him off. And then I'm talking with this girl, Courtney, in the front lanes. And I see him go over and he tries to stop this guy from walking out with like 3 laptops.
Just under the arm, ready to go.
He was trying, and he walked in front of him. And he starts like not wrestling with him, but kind of like trying to fight the laptops out of him. And so I run over and I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? Because the guy who was trying to steal, his buddy was running in to like go help kick my friend's ass. So I go and I push him into the carts that are like in the front, and I chase him out. They get in the car. They didn't get any laptops, but we called the police, and the media somehow found out about it, and they were doing like all these stories on it. And yeah, we both got fired. So
really,
yeah,
that's shocking. What happened to the guy who was there that was supposed to be doing your job?
That's Brendan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got fired as well.
Really?
So
that seems interesting.
Yeah, we both got fired. He's a cop now, so he moved on to bigger and better things.
Yeah. Protecting and serving.
Yeah, no, it was fucking wild. I mean, I'm sure I'll post the video.
Did they fire you right there on the spot? Or
No. Everyone was like, "Fucking Justin and Brendan are fucking heroes. This is fucking awesome."
Yes,
and then
I agree.
I remember the assistant manager James was like, "Fucking Justin's the fucking linebacker, fucking throwing people in the carts." And then like a week later, they were like, "Oh, this isn't good." they were like, "Oh, corporate does not like all this media attention that it's getting."
That's so odd to me.
So we both got fired, and
that's so odd to me.
It was tough at the time. I really it kind of realized I was young. I was like 21, 22. So I kind of bought into the whole we're a family here at Best Buy. It was a small store, and I loved the GM. I loved everyone I worked with. It was a lot of fun. I worked with all my best friends, and but it kind of made that. Getting fired kind of made me realize, these companies will fuck you over in a second.
You're a number.
Yeah, in a second. So, don't ever, when they try to say, hey, I know, you want to take a vacation day, but we really need you to we're really short-staffed.
No.
Just no, fuck you.
No.
It's,
yeah, you're right. And that's good. Honestly, you learning it early
it was great. It was a good learning experience, but it was terrible for, my depression and everything like that. I just went into inpatient 3 months earlier. I was doing good and everything like that, and then I just got fired, and I was like, "This was fucked up." And
because in my eyes, and I don't know what corporate was thinking, but that seems like not something you would fire someone for, but maybe someone you get a pat on the back, or maybe a raise, or maybe you are there not working, and I don't know. What would they? I don't know. If it was just if you were just some random guy that didn't work at Best Buy,
correct,
but you were helping a Best Buy employee,
which is what
not
it
get
looked
beat
like.
up.
Which is what it looked like, because I wasn't in uniform or anything like that. People were being like, "Oh, this guy." Yeah, it would have been like, "Oh, this guy's, stopping these assholes from trying to steal thousands of dollars worth of laptops." But it was nope, didn't go that way. But I'm glad it happened, because who knows, I probably still would have been there, and I never would have kind of branched out and went back to school or anything like that. So
cool. If you could only listen to one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I would be a Whisk, by the way.
You would be right.
I'd be a
we
Whisk.
Never got to that.
Yes,
oh, yeah,
I'd be a Whisk. I feel like that's a good kitchen appliance.
Why would you be a Whisk?
Everyone would want to be a fork or a knife or something.
But I'm saying kitchen appliance, so you could be like a toaster.
I don't want to be a toaster.
You want to be all right. Well,
maybe an air fryer. Air fryers are kind of new, hot. Everyone's talking about them.
Yeah, I hate air fryers.
You hate air fryers?
Here's
Why
my
the fuck could you hate an air fryer?
Here's my thing with air fryers.
Okay, I mean, I get everyone talks about them, and they're.
Well, I don't care about that. But the thing with the air fryers is that they're an old technology rebranded as you have an oven, like you have an air fryer most of the time. If you have a convection oven, you have an air
Correct.
fryer. Number two, they do make like if you have like frozen French fries or frozen
chicken nuggets.
They make it is the best way to cook.
It's the best way to cook.
It's the best way to cook.
Yes.
But they're so difficult to clean and they take up so much space and I don't have a huge kitchen.
Okay. You made two good points. At first, I was going to like fucking murder you. I thought you were going to be like.
I guess I don't really hate them, but that was
okay. I think you like the idea of air fryers.
Oh, definitely.
How like it's like like you said, the best way to cook French fries, the best way to cook chicken nuggets.
Also reheat stuff.
Yes, reheated pizza, the best way to. But I will agree that it is cumbersome to clean. Especially like it's the best way to cook bacon. It's the worst way to because you have to clean it after you cook bacon.
Yeah.
And it gets grease everywhere. And I do agree with the idea that like it sucks. It's difficult to have like a spot on the counter that's just like, oh, that's where the air fryer goes.
Yeah.
Like in my house, like we put it away and it's a bitch to like get out and like put it back together.
It's a good appliance for sure. It's not, but people are thinking like this is a new thing. It's not new technology, people. Open your eyes, sheep. Back to the whisk.
Okay.
Explain to me why you would be a whisk.
I don't know. Cause like it's underappreciated. Like when you need a whisk, like it's like, people like whisking things with forks like suck.
Right. You're right.
It sucks.
You're right.
Like if you don't have a whisk, it's one of those things like you don't need it until you need it. But if you don't have one, it fucking sucks.
It's also a great appliance because even if the power's out, you can still whisk.
Exactly. You don't need electricity for it.
Right. It's an appliance for all seasons.
If you're making if your
all
power's
years.
out and you need to make eggs or you need to make French toast, it's
I don't know what you're gonna heat them up with, but
I mean
fire,
gas oven.
Oh, there you go.
I have a gas stove.
See, I have an electric stove.
Okay, yeah, so
I'm fucked. I can still whisk it though.
Yeah, I mean, you can still just, for shits and giggles, you can still whisk eggs or something of that nature. But I'd probably say whisk. Whisk. What about yourself, Matthew? You go by Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew's fine.
Matthew. I'll randomly call you Matthew.
Mattress.
Yep, okay. Mattress. What is that?
That's a childhood nickname that one of my friend's dads gave me. Mattress.
Ooh, that's a weird name for a friend of a dad, your dad's friend to give you.
Yeah, and then it just kind of stuck with everybody. But yeah, Matthew, whatever.
Okay.
I think I would probably be, I don't know. I like a toaster, but not a top loading toaster like a toaster oven.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like a toaster oven.
I mean, because top loading toasters have one
function,
and that's it.
Yeah, you can really only toast certain things, and you're done. With the toaster oven, you can do pizza, you can do all that stuff. So I would do a toaster. Very versatile, low maintenance.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's easy. You never have to clean them.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically.
if you have like a pan or a stone you put it in.
Yeah, right. So yeah, toaster oven. I think I'm going to go with. Whisk is a good one.
Wasn't it? Oh, well, anyway, the reason why I brought that up was because when I was getting hired by Best Buy, the GM asked me, he said, if you could get rid of one state in the, I think about this all the time. If you could get rid of, like, wipe it off the face of the earth, one state of the union, what would you pick?
Thanos, that shit.
Yep. And he said that the majority of people either picked Texas or California. There was one person who said Massachusetts, which was very strange because, like, we're from Massachusetts.
Right, they
so
want a job in
Massachusetts. I kind of get it, but, like, very, very strange.
You're applying to a job in Massachusetts. Very strange.
I said Vermont.
Okay, why?
There's more. Is it Vermont where there's like more cows than people?
I can look it up.
I believe there's more cows than people in Vermont.
Let's see. Some people joke that Vermont has more dairy cows than people. Not true. But it's one cow for every 3 people.
Okay, that's still a lot of cows. And also, like, the people of Vermont aren't really people. They're all like hippies up there, you know.
I think I've been up there. I've been up there once to ski, and that's about it. That's my experience. Oh, and my fake ID from when I was in
a lot of people had fake IDs from
Vermont.
From Vermont.
Yeah.
It's just such a small state. I feel like it could go anywhere. Like, it could just leave and no one would really care.
So,
like,
you went for Vermont?
Like, who's the most famous person from Vermont? Bernie Sanders? I'm going to assume.
I guess.
Ben and Jerry?
Now you're talking, yeah. Famous people from Vermont. Phineas Gage.
Who's that?
He's a railroad man, medical test patient.
Oh, good.
That sounds familiar. He must have some baseball player, Larry Gardner. Cynthia Gibb, actress.
I mean, it has to be like the most famous person right now has to be Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I would say that Ben and Jerry are probably the
yeah. I mean, so I guess I feel like Vermont's like stuck in its own little like left wing world. I'm not a huge politics guy, but I just know that like
It's so funny. Like, here's famous Vermonters: Sherman Adams, governor.
Of Vermont.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So actually, one of the if you get a chance to, there's a funny YouTube video of anyone can be a part of the governor debates of Vermont. So if you look up like the 2016 Vermont governor debates, they have the Republican nominee, the Democrat nominee, the Socialist Party nominee, the Marijuana Party nominee. They have like there's like 8 people up there, and it's just random nonsense. Like, they'll have people go up there and they'll be like, oh, I'm the only socialist on the stage here. And it's just some guy like in a wheelchair who's like screaming that the Democrat is too right leaning. And it's incredible. If you guys ever get a chance to, it's like an hour long. It's like, just look up Governor Debates Vermont, because it's just a bunch of random nonsense.
Get yourself a Lego set and go watch that.
Exactly.
Are you familiar with the Cool Moose Party?
I'm familiar with the Bull Moose Party.
So the Cool Moose Party was started by this guy, Robert Healy, in Rhode Island, where he ran for years to try and essentially he wanted to be lieutenant governor.
No, this is not the guy with the boot on his head, right?
No, different guy. I think he's Robert Healy is now dead.
Okay.
But he kind of looked like Jerry. He had like a long beard, hair, looked like Jerry Garcia. He ran under the Cool Moose Party, and his whole platform was he was running for lieutenant governor, and if he ever won, he wanted to abolish the position of lieutenant governor because he thought that it was.
I like that.
Because I kind of like that too because he thought it was like a useless position.
It's one of those things where it's like, I mean, I guess you can just say like, I hate the position of lieutenant governor, or you can do something about it where you're like, fucking vote for me and I'll get rid of this shit.
Imagine.
That's awesome.
Pretty wild. Calvin Coolidge. How do you feel about Calvin Coolidge? He's from Vermont.
I guess. I really don't have. He was an early 20th century president, right?
I guess.
I mean,
know he's a president. I
don't think he did much. I think he was probably one of the reasons the Depression was not great.
Right. Oh, and Joseph Smith is from Vermont. The starter, one of the founders of Mormonism.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess he can go.
So why is Mormonism not big in Vermont, but it's big in, I don't know.
Well, that was like I only know this because I've seen
the Book of Mormon.
The Book of Mormon is their pilgrimage was out west because they were constantly getting like shot and beat up around here because because they were like, oh, this is fucking crazy. This is crazy talk. No, Jesus wasn't here in the United States.
Okay, so I guess Joseph Smith. I'd probably say Bernie Sanders is probably tops that list though.
Yeah,
right now, for like household name recognition.
All right, I think so. I'm gonna give you a few rapid fire. You ready?
Okay, real quick. What state would you abolish?
Okay. Oh man, I guess I would do Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, because
I
would say that. Well, I guess we're wiping it off the face of the earth.
Correct. Like it's just not going to be a thing anymore.
Yeah, I go with Michigan. But also, if we were the other way, I was thinking of it is if it wasn't going to be part of America anymore, Canada could easily take
Canada
could
eat Michigan.
I mean, the Northern Peninsula is already
pretty much Canada.
Yeah. So, I'd be Michigan.
Okay.
Also, I don't. Oh, the other thing is too, I don't know anybody from Michigan, so I can just be like, yeah.
See, I'm like, so I have a couple. Like my grandfather on my mom's side is from Michigan. He went to like Michigan State and everything like that. For some reason, whenever I think of Michigan, I think of Tom Brady.
I guess we'd lose Eminem.
Tom Brady. Portnoy was there.
But I guess Tom Brady was there, but he's not
that's the thing.
from
No one's
there.
from like Portnoy. He's not from. He's a Michigan man, but he's not from Michigan. He's from here. Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, go with Michigan. That's a strange one to ask in an interview, though.
That's a good one. Yeah, and he's like.
I like it though because you can kind of like. The same way I'm kind of trying to ask you some strange questions.
Yeah, you go off on a tangent. And I remember just being like, there's too many cows.
Yeah, you tell me that you got fired from Best Buy for saving a laptop.
Yeah, fucking.
Did those guys get away with the laptop?
They did not get away with the laptop, but the police called off the chase because they were going like 150 on the highway.
Jesus.
And they were like, okay, well, hopefully these guys just end up in a ditch somewhere. But
okay, rapid fire.
Go.
Describe the sun in one word.
Hot.
Describe the person to your left in one word. So I guess that's me.
Cold.
Jesus. Describe yourself in one word.
Fat.
Jesus. Describe your breakfast in one word.
Meat.
Describe your house in one word.
Big.
Describe England in one word.
I can't say that. Annoying.
Describe your weekend in one word.
Boring.
Describe your fashion trend in one word. I don't have to.
Comfortable.
And describe your car in one word.
Japanese.
All right. Very good.
I was going to say gay for England. I don't know why. The first word that came to mind was just gay. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with like cunt or something.
No. I was just like, I just don't like England.
Oh fuck.
I don't know. There's just a bunch
I
of.
just don't like England.
No, I don't know. It's just kind of like there.
Oh,
I mean, we kind of reclaimed like.
You hold a grudge. That's the problem.
I do.
You hold a grudge, and I mean, we separated.
I do, and then, like
we're now our own country.
Kind of like when something breaks off and that thing becomes bigger and better.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why is this still called like this? It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like when something, I'll just use it. Like we broke off from England and now America's a much better country than England. They have like laws going into place where like you can face up to like 2 years in prison if you have a tweet that like hurts people's feelings. Did you see this?
No.
Yeah, no. Wild. They have like a law that's like you can be like people could like knock on your door and be like, hey, so we need you to delete this tweet because it's
well they have some backwards ass shit. I mean, they still have a queen.
Yeah, that's wild to me. I know it like makes money and everything, but it's just wild to me.
Do you know what the code word is for when the queen dies? What the person they'll call like Parliament and say?
Code black?
No, it's I believe they call them and say London Bridge is down.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, like I have no issues with Elizabeth, but Jesus Christ.
Elizabeth. I'm surprised that you wouldn't abolish Maine because that's where Poland Springs come from.
Oh yeah, I got some issues with Poland Springs. So I recently found out that, which apparently I got someone who is familiar with working with Poland Springs told me today that this information is false and that this is all just propaganda.
He says he's seen it with his own eyes.
Correct. So
I don't believe it.
Apparently Poland Springs, I read something today that it's not a spring. It's just regular groundwater. And I think that's fucked up. I think it's fucked up. And apparently they keep getting sued for millions and millions, almost billions of dollars.
Really?
And they'll just keep on, like it's such a profitable business that they would rather just like pay out these lawsuits that say that like will show that it's not from Springs rather than change the name.
Yeah, they're facing a lawsuit over its water.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're selling ordinary groundwater.
Yeah, and so Craig says he saw the spring himself. I'm surprised, like, to be from around here, and Poland Spring is kind of such like a big name that like I've never seen. Have you seen a picture of Poland Spring?
No,
that's like not on the bottle.
I mean, I assume that it's like a larger function of like groundwater and like from the mountains in the Northeast. But I also think that like maybe what they showed. Did we say it was Craig? Did we
Correct.
say? Did we? Maybe like you familiar with Rocco's Modern Life?
I am.
Maybe like a phlegm rock type thing where it was like
Yep.
this tiny little thing in the back of the warehouse where they're like, this is it right here, but it's actually just being pumped out of
exactly.
the
Yeah. I mean,
they have this really nice like rock formation set up and like here's the spring.
Oh,
Here's where it all comes from.
here's
And Craig's
the
just
spring.
like,
And
yeah,
then
all right.
Yeah, then there's the man behind the curtain, the actual like where they're getting the water from is just the ground. Yeah, I don't know. That just went on my ass sideways these past couple of days. It's like, don't call it a spring.
So I'm gonna ask you like you asked me about the air fryer. Do you actually dislike the taste of Poland Springs?
No, I think it tastes delicious.
Right, so it is one of the best bottled water.
It is, but I just don't think I think they're lying. And if they're paying out millions of dollars in these lawsuits, that they're able to just eat and be like, oh yeah, I mean, well, we make $10 billion a year on bottled water. Who cares if every couple of years we have to pay out a lawsuit of $1 billion or so? It's just change the name. Change the name, Nestle.
What would you change it to?
Poland groundwater.
Poland groundwater. I don't think they'd sell as many bottles.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would buy it. It still tastes delicious.
It still tastes the same, yeah.
It's like what's that fucking piece of shit? Like Dasani.
Mm-hmm.
Dasani's
Trash.
garbage.
Yeah, it's trash.
Aquafina, garbage.
Yeah.
Like I'll take like Stop and Shop brand over either of those two, but I just don't know. And like I'm conflicted right now because what if Craig's correct and it's not just propaganda he was fed while he was getting paid for? I mean, that's kind of like oh no, we actually don't like when I worked at Best Buy at the time, people would be like, oh, why do you guys try to get people to sign up for credit cards? I would be like, oh, it's because you get 5% back. It'd be like, no, it's so you don't pay them, and then they rack up trillions of dollars in fees, and that's how Citibank makes all their money. But Yeah. So I have no idea what to think on that.
You know what my real problem with Poland Springs is, and I don't even really care that they're lying, but I hated when they changed their bottle design.
Did you like the thicker cap?
I like the thicker cap, but not only the thicker cap, but the whole bottle itself used to be thicker plastic.
Yes. Oh, I remember. I was thinking about this driving in here about like in elementary school. Like I just remember like having like a water bottle, and it was definitely thicker,
Heftier.
Like
yeah.
it was definitely like that had some weight to it.
Well, the big telltale sign is I hold a bottle in my hand, and if I go to try and open up the cap, sometimes it
Yes.
crinkles, and sometimes water will spill out because I'll be holding
you're
it
holding
just
it
a little
tight.
bit too
Yes.
tightly, and yeah.
Yeah. I think that I don't think that has as much to do with Poland Springs.
Well, that's an environmental thing for sure. And
Yes.
it's happened with a lot of water bottle companies as well.
Yes.
Water companies.
Speaking of, there's a lot of different regulations that people are trying to put in. I think I sent you something in the was it the infrastructure bill or the Build Back Better bill?
It's the let me bring it up. It's called.
There's a lot of like I know this doesn't have to do with anything with the environment, but I know like when all these bills are trying to pass, there's a lot of like hidden things like, oh yeah, you cannot sell a. Did you know in California?
It's the New York Health Act. That's the one you're talking about? Is that the one?
Are we talking about the drunk driving one?
Yes.
Yes. Where, well, like I know in California, like it's going to be impossible to buy like a gas lawnmower in like 10 years. Like it will be illegal to buy I don't know if it will be illegal to own, but I know it will be illegal to like sell.
California also has a certain date now where anything after that date, all car companies have to be electric.
Which is wild to me.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Which is just wild to me. You look at how much pollution like a single car actually puts out, and it's like nothing.
Well, here's what California is doing there, and this is my personal opinion, is that they are saying that no cars that are gas combustion engines can be sold within California. So it's making them look like the good guys, when in reality, people are just going to buy from Nevada,
Texas,
Washington,
yes.
Texas, and they're just going to have the cars shipped in.
Yeah.
Because who is actually, like right now in 2021, less and less people are actually going to car lots to buy their cars.
Mm-hmm.
They're just buying the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Carvana or something like that.
Exactly.
And I think there's going to be a big business when that law if it comes into place, where if you're in California, someone will be like, oh yeah, you can just buy this car in Texas and then I'll ship it to you or I'll drive it to you for, $500 or something.
They want it to be zero emissions starting in 2030, which is
wild.
not that far away.
No, it's not. And it's like, I mean, it sounds great on paper, but I just don't understand how that's going to be a thing. It's like, well,
I'm trying to find this article, though. For some reason, the link isn't working. But essentially, it was something put in place for drunk drivers, right?
yes, or not for drunk drivers, for everyone. So in the infrastructure bill, starting, I believe, in 2026, in every single car, there is going to be not a breathalyzer, but like it's going to have something that can detect blood alcohol, and it will not turn on.
There's going to be like kind of how they do like they monitor the road and they auto self-driving.
Yep.
It's going to monitor whether or not you're fatigued. If you are like falling asleep, it will warn you, and if you continue to do those signs, and also I think like you said, it'll detect it in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It will put the hazards on and pull the car over to the side of the road.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
The idea of like, so I don't drink and drive, but I do drink. But like, so if I'm driving my buddy home, who's like just completely shit faced, we'll say he's like 0.20, like very intoxicated, way past the legal limit. So if he's in the passenger seat and he's breathing heavy, he's not dying or anything like that, but he's breathing heavy. There's alcohol in his system. Is the car going to be able to detect that it's not me?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it would have something to do with whoever's in the passenger seat, and that's how they detect it. But I guess you're right. If they are doing the detection through the air, maybe they could pick up that the person in the passenger seat is drunk and think that you are also drunk, which would be tough.
Or will it be like, oh, it must be the person in the passenger seat? So then if I am drunk, it will just be like, oh, it must be the person in the passenger seat.
Yeah, could be. I mean, I think that's... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the intrusion of like them stopping the car and pulling over is kind of wild, because that is all the same thing of like, what if like it's an emergency? I'm not saying that you're hammered and it's an emergency.
What if you have 2 beers?
What if it's an emergency, or like say
Or-
it's just the fatigue thing. What if you get drugged at a bar or something,
Mhm.
and you are rushing to either get to a hospital or you are rushing to get home because you can feel it coming on, and like you're on the road, and I guess like you shouldn't be on the road at that point.
Yep.
You should probably call an ambulance. But I'm sure there are certain situations where you don't want your car all of a sudden putting on the hazards and pulling over.
Oh yeah,
and not
imagine like you're in
stopping
like a bad part of town.
right,
And it's
Or
just
if
like, oh, looks like you're just gonna, because these are brand new cars. So it looks like we're just gonna pull over in the middle of West Philadelphia.
that was a bad example, but you know,
I know what you mean.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there are, like, you know, my example was bad, but I'm sure that there are situations where you don't want your car to stop working because of a flaw not a flaw in the system, but
Or
a
what if it's
safety,
broken?
a
Yeah.
quote unquote safety feature.
Yeah, I mean, what if it's broken and it's like you're completely sober? It's in the middle of the day, and they're just like, nope,
Yeah,
we're just gonna pull you over on the middle of the highway, and you're like, this is not ideal.
yeah.
I just think that's wild. I think they also said something like it's gonna be able to detect blood in your skin. But my question for that would be, or alcohol from your skin. So what is the limit that it's like if you and me go out and we have dinner and we both drink 2 beers and then we go home, like I'm going to assume that you've drank before and we're both going to be well under the legal limit of 0.08. Would it stop then?
I don't know.
Would it detect if you're under 21 and the legal limit is 0.01?
I think that what's going to end up happening at that point, hopefully, is that cars will be more self-driving, and then they can just like, you don't even have that option. You just self-drive yourself home.
Oh, I think that'd be dope if like you're able to just if it will just be like, oh, we're in self-driving mode and now we're going home and you can sit back and crack open another one.
Yeah,
But something tells me that's not going to be the case by then.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. You just see all these bills getting passed, and because I saw that the House with the Build Back Better bill, I don't know how well you look into these things, but the House just recently passed a bill that's not going to get passed in the Senate. But I see everyone on Twitter who is celebrating that it got passed in the House as if it had any chance in the Senate. You know who my favorite follower on Twitter is?
Yeah.
Or who I follow is Brooklyn Dad Defiant.
Brooklyn Dad Defiant?
Do you know who that is?
No.
It's just this guy. He's this super like he loves the Democrats and Joe Biden and everything like that. And he just has like the cringiest posts like of all time. He'll just be like, "Oh, just got my mail, had to put my mask on to make sure everything was A-okay." He'll have tweets where it's like, "Retweet this if Joe Biden decided to run in 2024, he would have your back." I don't know. I just find everything about him to be hilarious. I love him so much. He had a tweet actually a couple weeks ago. I saw this movie yesterday about the Eternals, and what he did was he posted a tweet, and it was him and his buddies, him and his 2 friends, and he said, "This group of vaccinated, mask-wearing superheroes just rented out a movie theater, so we're able to watch the Eternals and be safe." And it was a very funny tweet. I enjoyed it a lot. The idea of just someone like renting out a movie theater so they can feel safe watching a movie with their 2 friends. But I did see are you a Marvel guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
Did you see the Eternals?
I didn't see him. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had I'm in and out on Marvel. Like there's some movies I really like. Thor Ragnarok, great movie. Guardians of the Galaxy's great. Spider-Man's great. You know, the Avengers, great movies.
Mm.
There are some that like I would just miss. And the Eternals is one of those movies where it's like I'll just catch it when it goes on Disney Plus. Until Saturday night, I was at the Quantum Week live show, which was a blast. If anyone did not get a chance to come out, I highly recommend coming out to any future events they do. They said hopefully they do. They're planning one next year. I think they could do one before that. It was a blast. Everyone had a lot of fun. But Kirk Minahan showed up, and so I was sitting with Harrison, Dave, and Kirk, and I turned to Harrison because me and him will talk about comic books or stupid shit, and I was like, "Oh, have you seen the Eternals?" I forgot that Kirk, before he left on his mental health break, said he was going to see the Eternals with Harry on that Thursday, and And Kirk was like, yeah, it kind of sucked. And he said it had the stupidest movie scene maybe ever. And the way he described it, I didn't really understand it. But after seeing it, I have to agree. So the Eternals is there's these like group of like 10 dudes and dudettes, and they were sent like 5,000 years ago at like the start of man or whenever. And their goal is to kind of like guide the humans along and make sure like they advance with technology. And there's this one guy who's like super smart. He helps them like make engines and things like that. And he's like, oh, like here's like some form of wheel like thousands of years ago to kind of edge them along. And there's a scene where he's standing outside of Hiroshima after the bomb just fell off, and he's crying, and he goes, I can't believe I helped humans create this. And apparently he just quit at that point. If I'm describing it terribly, but if you watch it, it is one of the stupidest fucking scenes in movie history. It's like, this was so unnecessary and just so like patting yourself on the back.
They're immortal?
Yes, they are immortal. They've lived for like 5,000 years. There's like something like growing in like the center of the earth that is going to like hatch, and they try to stop it, but they were originally sent there to make sure it hatches. I don't know. The whole thing's kind of fucking. The entire time I'm watching, I'm thinking fucking Harry Styles is gonna pop through it, because if you look up like Eternals cast, Harry Styles is like the second one.
I read that he was in it. He's not.
He's in it. You know how Marvel movies have the post-credit scenes?
Yeah.
He's in the post-credit scene.
Okay.
That's the first time he shows up.
Yeah. He's
So
Star Fox.
Yeah, he's Thanos' brother.
Yeah.
And so the entire time I was like, oh, and Harry Styles is about to come in and start, kicking ass as Thanos' brother. Nope, he doesn't show up until the end scene. But it was probably the most disappointing Marvel movie.
Where do they point this movie after? Like, where are these characters going to show up next, you think, in the MCU?
Because at the end, they just get, like, it's one of those movies that shouldn't be connected to the MCU, but, like, because it's Marvel and because they make so much money on the reason why everyone loves the Avengers is because they're all connected together.
Sure.
At the end, they just kind of get, like, taken away by, like, this giant, like, I think it's called, like, equestrial person. And they're like, you're on trial now. And they're apparently they're going to have a trial on them, like light years away, to see if they did the right thing by not having Earth blow up or something of that nature.
That's interesting. I'm going to see it just because I feel like I need to see that, and like not seeing an MCU movie at this point would be like,
it shouldn't be an MCU movie.
Making a puzzle without a piece.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess you're saying, but I know that eventually, I bet a lot of these characters are going to have like very integral parts into like whatever is the next thing.
Yes. And at one point, they're like, well, because there's always that thing like, okay, well, if they were around for thousands of years, we're like, where the fuck were you when the whole Thanos thing was happening? And like, it was just such like they're like, oh yeah, we were told not to like intervene in that stuff. And it's like, okay, well, I guess. But
my issue with like people like the Eternals, from what I'm gathering, like they're immortal. I hate people that are like, I like the down-to-earth superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can't die...
No, they can die.
Oh, they can die, but they'll just live forever? They're kind of like lobsters? Lobsters will live forever?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I think lobsters, what kills them is they, like, end up growing out of their shell.
Yeah.
And then, like, they have no protection.
Well, they do that a few times. They molt when they're getting bigger.
Yes.
But there's, like, without disease and without predators, lobsters
they would live
can
forever
indefinitely. Yeah.
So I think eventually what happens is like they molt out, and then they're unable to like
protect themselves,
to get like to make a new.
Oh.
So that's why they end up dying.
Huh.
But no, I didn't know that. But yeah, no, so these people can like be killed, but they don't age and they're without disease. But and then there's one character is like has like weird dementia. It's like what's her name? Who's the
Angelina Jolie?
Yes, her character has like dementia, and it's very strange.
Huh.
It's like why does this eternal like character have? She's like having like bad days and good days where like she wants to kill the entire Earth. But it's I would not recommend seeing the Eternals. But
are you excited for Spider-Man?
I am. I feel like they're really trying to hype this up. There really hasn't been a huge Marvel movie probably since Endgame. They're bringing back all the old Tobey Maguire characters and the Andrew Garfield characters. So we'll see how it is. I think hopefully it's a good movie and they're not relying on, hey, remember Green Goblin from 2001, he was fun. Because when movies do that, I feel like they suck.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's a good movie, like absent that, but we'll see. We'll see how it is. I'll definitely be. I'm more excited to see The Kingsman. I don't know if you've ever seen the Kingsman movies.
Yes, I like those movies a lot. The new one looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
Yeah,
it's like the first ever. It's different. They're definitely like unique. So like they're based off comic books. But for those of you that don't know, they're kind of like James Bond sort of spy movies, but they're very well done. If you haven't seen, there's 2 of them out. There's The Golden Circle and The Secret Service, and they're both very good movies.
Yeah, they are. They're both good.
And there's one coming out. I'm probably most excited to see that. Coming up in December, and then there's one other movie that I'm kind of excited for in December. What the fuck is it? Oh, I have no idea how they're doing this. Like I just don't know. It's the 4th Matrix.
Yeah.
I don't know, because if you watch the trailer, it looks like a reboot. It looks like it has nothing to do with the old ones, but apparently it's not.
Lawrence Fishburne isn't, from what we've seen.
He's not in it.
It's a different Morpheus. It seems like it's a different.
It seems like it's a different Morpheus, but apparently that Keanu Reeves is like the Keanu Reeves is Neo from 1, 2, and 3. So it's like, well, did like 3 not happen, or? I mean, I don't know. There's a whole lot of questions, but I'm sure the director will absolutely slay it because she's gone through a lot of hardships in her life.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. Did you see Venom too?
It sucked. It was very.
I thought I actually kind of liked it, but I definitely thought that they took the first one and they were like, okay, people didn't take this one seriously, but they did like some of the goofy parts, so we'll just make this one all goofy shit.
Yes,
you know
I kind of wish they went like more with like the horror aspect of it, of like because I remember seeing the trailer for the first Venom where it's like Tom Hardy like freaking out on the CAT scan with like the Venom popping, and you're like, oh shit, like this could be really dark. I don't know, it was just very I don't know if Andy Serkis is like if he should just stick to direct. It's the director.
Yeah,
he's the guy who like plays Gollum and everything. I don't know, it seemed like it was like, oh, and there's another bad Venom, and they got to fight him this time.
I just have a problem with all the Sony movies that they are like happening. Like, I think that the MCU would do a better job with Venom.
Oh, I agree too.
Yeah. Same thing with Spider-Man. I think that if the rumors are true, and that if Spider-Man goes back to Sony and they start making other Spider-Man movies that are
aren't
not
connected,
to the movie,
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Venom 2. I liked Venom 1 more, I guess, but it was just like it's the exact same thing. I get that they were trying to go with like, it was way too comical for me. It was like, oh, we get it. Like Venom likes to eat people, but Tom Hardy's like, no,
you can't eat.
But and I thought the ending there was kind of where like the little teaser where it's like, is it in the MCU now, or is it? It's like, okay, well, either make it in the MCU or don't.
Yeah, I think we'll find out in
the Spider-Man. Yeah, definitely something will happen like that. But I'm not entirely sure when it. But yeah, no, that movie was not great, not ideal. But fun fact about the Spider-Man movies, the MCU movies. So do you know how that distribution deal works?
Not really.
So Marvel. So obviously Marvel is owned by Disney, and Sony owns the rights to the Spider-Man movie. So that was the whole thing years ago. They're like, oh, well, Tom Holland, like, will he be pulled away out of the MCU because Sony's not going to allow him to be used anymore? So Sony actually gets 100% of the box office of every single Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
So Marvel makes the movies, produces the movies. Sony's in charge of I believe Marvel might even be in charge of and Disney might be in charge of the distribution and everything like that. And they see no money from it, like none at all. But they are able to use Spider-Man in movies like Infinity War,
right,
Civil War, and things like that. So, I mean, that just shows like what a cash cow the MCU is that they're able to just make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, yeah, no, we'll just front the entire $300 million movie.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But, yeah, I don't know. I found that interesting. But I think, is there anything else I want to talk about? Oh, I will be starting up somewhat of a Patreon in the next couple of weeks. First, talk about Vaulted Podcast because this place is awesome. If you want
Thank
to, like I said, I just walked in here. It's very clean, very neat. It was very simple to get started. You had everything all set up. Just sit down, start talking. He's going to send me the files and everything. So yeah, just
I run a production company with two other of my friends, and we do like music videos and some short movies that we do on our own. But we also have this great vault space, and I was thinking it would be a good spot for people to rent out and come like film their podcasts here.
Yep.
So we can do video, like you were saying. We can do audio. You can do live streaming. We have a TV in here and monitor. That's how we do the clips for Why Are You Laughing? So Mike, and Craig can see the clips that I'm playing. I can produce your shows. If you have a producer, you can also do it that way. VaultedPodcasts.com or VaultedPodcastRI, or just find me on Twitter at Matt from RI, and you can rent the studio.
Oh yeah, I was going to say it's super easy to get to. It's right off the highway. You just kind of
right off 95 in Pawtucket. It's like a minute from the highway.
It's super clean in here. I love it. It's
Thank you.
I will say, like, if you have a podcast and you're listening to this right now, just listen back to your podcast, because it probably doesn't, like, I listened to a couple people's podcasts. It doesn't sound great. Like, this sounds legit, sounds professional. It's definitely reach out and I
appreciate that. Exciting things to come. So
yeah, so I don't know. I was thinking, like, should I start up like a Patreon and kind of try to do like so my idea is I'm going to have kind of like a solo show once a week where I would just go off and just talk about, just kind of like what Mike recommended I do, just talk about like a random topic that's in my head, talk about gear, talk about fucking World War II, like laws that are still in effect today about why the, highway systems are straight in the United States. And things of that nature, just kind of like a peek inside Justin's brain, where I do that for $5 a month. So I will be starting that up soon. I kind of have it, like, the very basics of it kind of started. I think it's patreon.com/Trudell, Trute, Trudell, by the way. I know Mike has called me Trudeau a couple times. And
not the Prime Minister.
No, not the Prime Minister of Canada.
Okay.
It's patreon.com/Trudell. I have a couple. I think I have a $5 tier, which would be an extra episode of like the solo thing. $10 tier, which I plan on doing some sort of live streaming or watch along maybe once or twice a week. And then I have a $50 tier where I'll send you cookies. So
whoa, what kind of cookies?
whatever kind of cookies the people want. If they want peanut butter cookies, I'll send them peanut butter cookies. If they want chocolate chip cookies, I don't know if I'll do like oatmeal raisin or something like that, because that's kind of fucking nasty. But whatever the people want. So check that out. Hopefully I have merch up and things of that nature soon. I do have a shirt that's out. I don't know. Have you seen this shirt, Matt?
I have not. Oh, wait, yes, I have seen the shirt. You should describe it.
Yes. So everyone knows. Been talking about this whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Who gives a shit, really? Like, I mean, the guy. Yeah, people are like, oh, he went across state lines to go kill people. It's like, okay, sure. So he recently just got off. The jury found him not guilty on all 5 charges. He's free. He's a walking free man. And I was thinking, this was Thursday night or Friday night, maybe. I've been drinking a little bit, and I thought to myself, I was like, Kyle Rittenhouse. And then I was like, well, what can I do with that? I was like, Kyle Kitten. I was like, oh, let's do something with a cat. And I was like, no. I was like, Kyle Kitten Mouse. I was like, how is he half mouse, half cat? I was like, no. What if he's Kyle Mitten Mouse? It's Kyle Rittenhouse, except he's a mouse, and he's wearing mittens, and he traveled across state lines to go eat your cheese. So I hit up a friend of mine who dabbles in graphic design, and he made a design, and I now have Kyle Mittenmouse shirts for sale. I'm not entirely sure if you find me on Twitter at Trudell_DM. I'm gonna have to change that soon because that joke's getting kind of old. But it's up there. Would you like to guess how many shirts I've sold?
How many?
0.
0?
None.
See, now I feel like it could have gone one of two ways.
I feel like it could have been 0, or it could have been, like, next thing you know, he's taking a picture with it next to him, and he's like, People don't know what to think of it though. I've talked to a couple of my liberal friends, and I'm like, oh, I'm selling this T-shirt, and they're like, how dare you defend a murderer? And I'm like, trust me, I'm not trying to make some huge political statement here.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, for all the people that are all bent out of shape about it, you should just not look that deep into it.
And
it doesn't seem like you did.
And then I was telling my grandfather about it. He goes, it's kind of disrespectful to him though. And I go, trust me, I don't give it. It has nothing based up on anything he did. His name is Rittenhouse, and it rhymes with mitten mouse.
That's it.
So that's kind of what. But yeah, no. Hopefully, I start putting out some more things on Twitter and on YouTube. I want to start up the YouTube page too, which I'm sure I'll tweet out this video from. So be sure to subscribe to that. But definitely check out Vaulted Podcast, because this place is dope.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate this, my friend. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what else it is. But no, I think this was fun. I enjoyed it. I hope that people will enjoy it. It's only going to get better from here. I mean, like I said, I met Matt. I think we've been recording together for how long?
It's about an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, an hour and 20 minutes, and
Yeah.
I've known him for an hour and 23 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, well, if anything, we're just going to get more comfortable and hopefully have, more guests on, and I'll figure all that out. Oh, last thing I wanted to say was I wanted to go through my ideal guests of whom I would get, like not my ideal but what's it called? Like dream guests.
Yeah.
Who I would have. So I have 5 of them. One is that Brooklyn Dad defying guy.
Okay.
Okay, because I just want to. I don't know. I just think he's incredible.
Yeah.
2, if you're familiar with the comedian Tom Myers.
Yes, I am. I'm only familiar now because of Craig and Mike telling
Because
me.
of those, I agree 100% with Tom with blocking that podcast. That is disgusting. They were taking shots at him. I would never do such things.
Yeah.
Tom, if you're hearing this, I love you, and I hope to have you on soon, and I'll be in touch. It would be 2 Tom Myers. 3 would be Dee Snider of Twisted Sister.
Yes.
I think it's so funny to like see someone, not funny, but it's just like you look at the level of fame he had in the 80s.
Mhm.
And then you just look at like, how much do you think he's worth?
Oh, I couldn't even begin. I mean, his music was successful. I don't know. Like, do you know the number?
I do.
I'm gonna say like maybe 20 million.
Wait, it's like less than $1 million.
Really?
Yes, it's wild.
Well, I
to
mean,
me.
he probably wasn't great with his money.
No, he probably wasn't, but I just think it's wild to like someone like of that
Yeah.
success. And he also went through a lot in the I believe it might have been 80s or maybe it was early 90s with against Al Gore's wife. Al Gore's wife was trying to
Odd.
she was trying to ban music. A lot of music, and one of his songs is "We're Not Going to Take It." I'm sure you're familiar. If you know who Dee Snider is, you know "We're Not Going to Take It." She thought that song was one of the most explicit songs on American airwaves, and she wanted to get it banned and have no one be able to listen to it. So he actually testified in front of Congress. So I bet he would have some interesting stories in that. 4, my 4th. It's between a couple people here.
Is it like a floating list? Like, do people come on and off this list?
Yeah. My goal is by the end of 2021, I want to have one of these 5 on the podcast.
All right.
Okay. So Brooklyn Dad Defiant, 1.
Dee Snider.
Dee Snider. Tom Myers.
Yep.
W. Bush.
Okay.
Because I just think W. Bush, I don't know. But here, I want to say this. I will cancel the podcast if I don't get one of these 5 people on.
Okay.
Well, Tom Myers.
And the 5,
Let's go.
Blind Michael Geary, I guess.
Well, I think you have a good shot, unless he's just.
I don't know.
Unless he begrudgingly just wants your show.
I don't know.
Stop.
So like I said, if I don't get one of those 5 people on this podcast by the end of 2021, it could be any of the 5. I don't know. It could be George W. Bush. It could be Tom Myers. It could be maybe Blind Mike. Who knows? Probably not Blind Mike. But if I don't get one of them on, the podcast is over.
All right. Well, I can tell you when we're filming the next Why Are You Laughing, so you can ambush him.
That's a good idea.
Hit
Yeah,
him
probably
hit him with a microphone.
Yeah,
Like,
so let's
like
hope.
a Billy on the Street thing.
So anyway, I appreciate everyone listening. Make sure to subscribe wherever you're listening to this and leave it 5 stars. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Matt of Vaulted Podcast. Once again can't say better things about this place. This place is really dope. And I will talk to you guys all later. Bye. Awesome.
That was great.
Hey, no, I no, that was good.
Yeah, that flowed really